Welcome back to a TD6 video. Raxor here, and wow, it's been a while. How are y'all doing? Sorry it's been a while. I know I had a bunch of excuses, birthday, holiday, new year, lazy day, all the above. But we're back into it today, so we're gonna do some Peninsula only using, well, the Peninsula.
That's all, folks.
That's it. That's the video. Just kidding, but this will be a fun little challenge to play around with today, because surprisingly, Peninsula actually has a lot more space than you might think. And I'm only going to use the top part of this peninsula, and so surprisingly the strat will be pretty similar to a chimp strat that's done, except, well, not farms. Thankfully we can have farms, and we can fit that here, and it's most likely going to be a sniper strat with potentially a druid just to farm. And honestly, I haven't really played much TD6 in a hot minute because, again, been really busy with stuff, so forgive me. I'm probably going to play super sloppy, and I'm actually just reacclimatizing myself to just playing entirely, even though I just released 2 late game videos. So early on, we're just going to try and greed a little bit, focus on farming, let my 2 snipers go to town, but seems like I'm struggling just a little bit, so I'll actually just get some more defense. Let's get a bouncing bullet to help out first. I realized I sort of messed up, and as I'm kind of playing this, I probably should have done a marketplace instead of, yeah, I think I need Monkeyopolis to help farm a bit faster, so damn, I'm pretty rusty. Let me just start over real quick. I'll do a similar strat again, except this time I'll fix that one mistake that I was talking about and move into round 18, where I actually get dangerously close. Oh my god, 3 lives. Well, found that as I kept going, I lost on round 21, but surprisingly, if I micro just a little bit, yeah, no problem. Crazy what a little bit of micro can really do for you. So I finally get up my marketplace and say, screw defense on round 26, and I'm back down to 1 life. Holy crap. Yeah, that was calculated. Totally calculated. Haha. Just kidding. I have no idea what I'm doing. Someone please help me. I'm so bad at this game. Oh my god. Eventually, I get a supply drop first into getting everything I sort of need into round 40, where we don't have enough damage or enough for elite sniper. So I end up just getting a nice 202 to help out. Damage the mob a little bit better. I sell that sniper again for a Monkeyopolis, and I gotta get this built up pretty quickly into a 320 farm, which should hold us off for a little bit and eventually overclock, but I want to get one more supply drop for now because I think it'll also help with a bit of defense. We'll do our usual BRF into overclock, eventually getting this going, and I think I misplaced slightly. So I'm not sure if I could have fit maybe one more small tower here. It's all good though, because I die on round 50 and I can thankfully fit a druid. I'm going to throw one on here. Oddly, I don't seem to have enough for this Moab, which seems to be a problem. And I try druid again, and I also try elite sniper, but I end up getting it a bit too late. Looks like I'll need another tower. So I decide I'll randomly get a Moab Mauler instead. I get it, and then thankfully it works. It's just enough to sort of beat the first Moab. I sell it, and then I forgot that there's a second Moab. Oh my god, guys, I'm so bad. It's been so long since I played. Why do you even watch me? I'm absolute trash. Okay, let's do that again, but let's do it more properly this time. After finally beating it with the proper setup. Well, and proper being in quotations, because that's very loosely defined. In the middle of round 53, I end up getting Spirit of the Forest first, because I just want to farm a bit quicker, and very nice now, since I probably don't need to worry about anything until maybe mid 70s or 80s. The next tower to rush will be our Banana Central, which I'll actually get by selling my overclock and actually both my snipers. And so on round 58, in the middle of the round, after I do my overclock, we rush it and get it in the middle of the round. And Spirit of the Forest can handle things on its own for quite a little bit. This is actually perfect. Actually a little sooner than I anticipated, which is a bit nice. I thought I would actually get it maybe post round 60. And the great thing about Banana Central is that literally on the same round, I can get overclocked back up like immediately. Immediately after, I decide to see if I can readjust, and I can actually fit a third sniper. Okay, thank God. I wasn't crazy. I thought I could fit one more for sure, but I just want to, play around with that. Around 60, I end up getting all my snipers back up and supply drops and elite snipers, so now I'm pretty good for real now. Time to start eventually getting Ultra Boost for my Banana Central. On round 63, we end up getting it, and now it's time to farm. I'll need it because, well, I'll need to get a bunch of towers up ASAP, and I think for this run, I'm gonna essentially focus on Flying Fortress if possible to eventually maybe get a Goliath. Farm saved my life. Even one like this is incredible. It makes farming and this challenge a little bit easier. So by round 70, we're at 193k, so we should be in pretty good shape. It's just a matter of if I can sort of last for a while before having to really need to buy my Flying Fortress. So the 70s are pretty much a breeze. Honestly, I was worried over nothing. I'll have more than enough, and I think the biggest question here is, well, Mr. Raxor, what is the strategy here? Do you even have one? Are you clinically insane? Well, you the viewer, you're absolutely correct. It's a wonder how I made it this far in life, and yeah. On round 80, we end up losing some of our lives, surprisingly. I actually did start to lose a little bit from the ZOMG. We're at 568k, which Goliath on easy, still around 765,000. And so we push a bit further. I think as long as there isn't too many ZOMGs, we should be okay. I know there's 2 on round 85, so we rush ahead to round 85. And yep, just as expected, I still died. Okay, let's try one last thing before I give up my farming defense. I actually realized I completely forgot to cross-path anything as well. So I actually just end up cross-pathing my snipers as well as my druids and my Ultra Boost, and hey, it looks like it works, and we're pretty good to go. I do go for faster firing on my snipers. You'll see later that does come to bite me in the butt. On 90, just as we suspected, there's no damage for the DDTs. But thankfully, I did go top cross path for the druid, which allows it to hit lead balloons, and I can actually just use the ability to clear it out. So I actually think from this point on, I'll probably die in round 95, because 93 still has some DDTs, but they're pretty clumped, and I think DDTs are only really the issue right now. We play forward all the way till round 93, and 93 is wonderful, super easy, and 94 is, man, even easier. I found that using the ability right away to stall the ZOMGs a little bit more so that the druid can actually do a little bit more damage actually helped out quite a bit. And just as we expected, 95 brings our run to a halt. I have nothing for DDTs except for Spirit of the Forest. It's time to bring out the big guns. Jungle Drums Village. Haha, nope. Makes me wish that I went for the lead on my snipers, because I actually think it probably would have supported, but honestly this is actually okay, because at this point I should start worrying about getting some decent pops for my Goliath anyways, because we do want up a Flying Fortress, we do want Goliath as high of a degree as possible. Unfortunately, with my placements, it does mean that I need to get rid of my Spirit of the Forest as well as everything else. So I make a slightly risky play, I think, and I Ultra Boost my Flying Fortress, and so the only towers that you see here is I still have my Monkeyopolis, my Flying Fortress, my Ultra Boost, and my Banana Central. It's slightly risky because I'm essentially relying completely on Flying Fortress. Flying Fortress is good, but the one thing I don't like about Flying Fortress, even though I praise it so much, is that sometimes it ends up chasing, which you'll see I end up doing a lot in this run, and you'll know what I mean. But until then, Flying Fortress is absolute death incarnate. Literally the devil himself. Shreds everything, even round 100, super easily. Round 100, look at it, it's not even a match, what is this? So I slowly end up getting more Ultra Boost stacks on it, and on 102 you see DDTs are starting to get a little scary, especially the fortified ones. So again, I decided at this point, Ultra Boost away on the Flying Fortress because I'll probably need a bit more damage. So I think out of all of the limited space challenges that I usually do, this one seems a bit more fun because I have a bit more space to sort of farm, get some towers up, enough that it still feels limiting, but it also doesn't feel limiting. Do you catch my drift? Does that make sense? I end up losing a bunch to round 114. A bit unexpected, but I feel like, you know what, now it's maybe time to get up something a little stronger. So I sell my Monkeyopolis and I decide I'll try with the Homeland first. And yep, works like a charm. Okay, time to go even further. I just hope that Homeland will at least pump out maybe another 10 rounds for me. That would be most ideal. So with some good Wing Monkey timing as well as ability timing, we get all the way into round 120. And I have 1.7 million, so we're looking pretty good. No problems, and the only real problem rounds that I'm worried about right now is 128 and 138. I believe these are a few of the more dense DDT rounds. As you see here, on rounds that I end up losing to, or that I sort of just get worried about, I end up just using Ultra Boost or Homeland, or essentially a mix of both on Flying Fortress. Actually surprisingly going pretty well. I don't know how this is lasting, to be honest, because Wing Monkey is usually the best, but the problem here is that Flying Fortress keeps chasing. So as you see, sometimes I end up just losing because, well, it's sort of luck. If Flying Fortress is kind of towards the front of the peninsula, it has a lot more straight line action, so its damage does a lot better. Whereas if I'm sort of on the side with Flying Fortress, it ends up starting to chase a lot of the balloons, which isn't great, so that's what I kind of meant by chasing. But by round 126, we have 10.6 million pops, which is a pretty good sign. 128, the round that I was actually worried about, thankfully was actually really easy. Ultra Boost and Homeland works really well. The rounds from the next few rounds just end up being more chasing, and yeah, this is... I will actually say it's a little bit annoying because it's pretty RNG dependent. So what I end up doing is actually sort of go back and forth on retargeting, because sometimes I'll put Flying Fortress on circle because of the way that it's kind of flying around. It ends up being a little better in some situations depending on where it is, and you'll see here randomly once in a while I'll sort of half micro the ace. Like on 135 for example, oh my gosh, that was very annoying. That was the last balloon of that round too. Ugh. It's all pretty luck based, but thankfully I don't have to worry about luck anymore because on round 137 I have 17 million pops. Probably could have gotten it a round earlier, but I also did want to focus a bit more on farming. To be honest, I wasn't paying attention. That was probably my bad. Anyways, at least it's time to get it up, so let's get it up now. I do need around 180k or so if I want to get Ultra Boost and Banana Central back up. I'll just redo this, and I end up getting a degree 79 Goliath. Oh my god, okay, that sucks. With just about 30,000, I can get a degree 80, and I get back up my farming with a Monkey City and an Overclock. Again, Ultra Boost back up eventually, and eventually get my 10 stacks on my Banana Central. Now, Goliath, oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. Round 140 comes, and yep, I don't even have to use Carpet Bomb ability. We're gonna be good for a while. I get some more towers up just to... I'll probably get like a ninja, maybe a wizard, although the problem here is I did dump a bunch of cash into my Goliath, hoping that it would be a pretty big carry. I'm not really sure if wizard is worth it, just for the sheer fact that it's a bit too expensive, and I do need some sort of... I actually think ninja's a little bit better because it'll help stun quite a bit. NG Paragon might also be decent as well, because I do have Ultra Boost, and I will probably get an XXXL trap and maybe a Century Champion later on. I mean, I'm pretty tight on cash, so might need to scrap one of them. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get Wizard, to be honest. As you see as I play, once in a while there's a few random rounds where I just sort of end up losing. Sort of dependent on where Goliath is. It can hit pretty well, but Wing Monkey once in a while just doesn't seem to be too great. It's It's actually a little bit annoying because some rounds I don't even actually die to bads. It's just the random ceramics that are way too fast for Goliath to handle. So we farm all the way until round 163, and once 163 is over, I decide I'll start getting something better. Some better defense for now. So as I mentioned, I'll get an XXXL trap and a Grand Sabo, both to start farming pops for me ASAP. I have a feeling I won't be able to get too much after these paragons, so I'm probably just gonna maybe get a Zeely and then maybe a few more debuffers. So I continue to ultra boost my farms and I get all the cash I need in the world, and we skip forward because nothing really exciting happens until the middle of round 170s, where I start to fail a bit with Goliath. Things are looking a little bit tricky and it's looking slightly grim, but I do want to farm a bit further. Around 177 I end up getting a little stuck, so I decide I'll try from here to get a Ninja Paragon to help me out. Ninja will be a lighter degree because, well, it's only really used for the Perma Grand Sabo and a little bit of the stuns. That's why I kind of put it closer towards the exit. I just need another Paragon to sort of help me out ASAP for now. And with some tinkering, I'm able to get a degree 20 with just sacrifices and no more money spent, which is great because I need to save up for my Ninja Paragon as well. I get my farming back up one last time, as after this, I need to get a Zeely, because I need to get a Zeely soon, probably for the round 200 bads. And thankfully, Ninja helps us out enough to make us go much further, and the stun's definitely helping us out quite a bit. I decide to stop farming on round 190, a bit risky. I probably should have done it earlier. I know it takes about, I believe it's like 15 or 20 rounds to get a Zeely fully max leveled, especially around this time. Maybe less. Closer to the 15 round mark. Also, if you notice, the placement of most of my towers are kind of weird. So we hit round 200 and actually enough to beat it without a Zeely and just with good carpet bomb abilities. So that's a decent sign. I think we could potentially make it to round 250, but 300, it's looking pretty not possible. For now, we'll just keep going until I can't pass. On round 204, I hit a double fortified bad round and I change things up and I get a Zeely level 20. Honest to God, I feel like every round here is just getting tighter and tighter. Please don't quote me on that. I somehow make it all the way to round 221, where I notice something peculiar that I actually never really realized before. A Zeely's totem is actually right there. Huh, interesting. So actually I try and see if I can fit something there, but I guess not. Maybe a power, like TechBot energizing totem, maybe. That's pretty interesting. Also, I don't know how in the world I got so far, but as the rounds keep going, I somehow get to round 226, where I end up getting more than 16.2 million pops on my NG, which, honest to God, that's a Christmas miracle. I also ended up getting some stacks on Imbrittle and Super Brittle Ultra Boost stacks, which is also a bit nice. After sacrificing a little bit of money, we end up getting a degree 72. Not bad. Should hopefully help out. I get a Glue Storm and almost a Cripple Moab, and as we play the round, I ended up just getting it. I knew I could fit 2 more towers, but I'm not sure what I would place. I know probably another Glue Storm just for additional damage, but I'm not really sure what else. So we'll just keep going for now. I also removed the little island on the left side so that mini sentries can spawn down here. Honestly, guys, I don't know if this counts as the peninsula as well. Technically, it is part of the peninsula, right? The peninsula is the main land area, and technically anything sort of adheres to the land. Sorry, I meant to say like as if it's a sort of adhesive, but I don't know why I can't think of the adhered. Sorry, that's the word. Adhered to the land. Then technically the right platform is also part of the peninsula, but anyways, I only use the top side just to make things simple. I could have also done just land, but I actually decide not to because I think doing just land round 300 is actually a little bit easy. And the only reason I say that is because I can actually just spam Sun Temples and Adora and probably get a few Paragons. And actually, you might be like, well, farming's not as great. You can actually fit some farms on the islands. They're actually quite big, so I think it would be actually a little more trivial than you think. Somehow, by some miracle, we make it all the way until round 243, where I find the better placement and I move my Glue Storm and get a Mad in its place on round 244. However, my journey comes to a stop on round 246. The goal of 250 is so close, so I decide at this point I sell my NG Paragon and I'm just gonna try and hit 250. And so I try with Legend of the Night, but as you see, Legend of the Night is actually not enough. It comes super close, but it's just not enough. So with that, unfortunately, I end up just dying and ending it here. I probably can buy and resell a Zealy and then maybe reorganize everything so that I end up, I don't know, just reusing Legend of the Night. At this point, I'm actually fairly satisfied because I know this will hit 250 regardless. Anything past that, it might hit a few more rounds, but anything past that is honestly gravy. It's probably not going to go into 300, but who knows? Maybe you can do better than I can. Here's a quick pop count for all these interesting little towers. Goliath saving our butts with 361 million. NG at 36 million. Mad a little bit late, but holding us strong at 80k. Ascended Shadow at 192 million. And a Zealy at a solid 72 million. I could have probably gone for a Wizard instead. I know my farming also wasn't the best. There's quite a few misplacements that I did as well, but you know what? This is just a warm-up video back into BTD6 because I haven't really played in a while. I hope you guys enjoyed this run. I hope you are also having a wonderful holiday season again. Don't forget to spend time with your families, subscribe to Raxor, like my videos or something, and I will see you all in the next video.